Hello, everyone. Welcome to today's K2 webinar. Our topic today, elevation on trapezoidal or corrugated sheets. Today with me, my dear colleague Ute.
Hi, Ronnie.
Hello, Ute. We will run the webinar together today. Ute will show you the products, and after that, I will show you how to plan all these products, all these systems in our planning tool, K2 Base. Um, yeah, there's are some challenges. You have to know exactly what to do, and that's what I will show you later on. If you have questions, please ask and always use the Q&A panel. There are two panels. On my screen, the Q&A panel is just down here. Maybe it's also there on your screen. I hope so. Don't use the chat panel, which is here on my screen, because when you use the chat panel, then it might happen that we oversee one or the other question. So if you want to say hello, thank you, I can't hear, or the picture is bad, then you can use the chat panel. But if you have questions concerning the topic of the webinar, please use the Q&A panel.
In the normal chat, we can say that Klaus, that's our colleague in the background, he will give you some informations, maybe data sheets or maybe links where you can see the video after this session again, or other general and important information you can get there in the chat. But concerning to our issue today, trapezoidal sheet and inclination, please use the Q&A.
So that's it for introduction, I think. So I will go over there, and Ute will stay here and
you leave me
present
alone.
you. Yeah, I will. And Ute will show you the system.
So we do nothing about product catalog or MyK2 or something like that? Or do we afterwards, if we have time?
Maybe you can also jump on that, but yeah,
First
we will see.
First we do the issue.
We do the products
Okay.
first. Yeah.
Okay.
Klaus, der Ton scheint wohl, man scheint wohl nichts zu hören.
Can't hear me?
People.
Was a message from Ronnie?
So,
actually,
can you please comment? Can you?
Or lift your hand if you can hear me now.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me or? can you hear none of us, or can you hear?
Okay, the first hand, please. Can you hear Ronnie say something?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Okay. And can you hear
Okay.
me? Yes. Okay, so now we're fine, I think.
So yeah, it seems that our director just turned down the wrong microphone. He left mine open and muted Ute. So now it should work.
Then this seems like I should start again.
Maybe.
Okay.
Sorry.
Okay, then welcome again on the issue trapezoidal sheet and inclined systems like Dome 6 or something like that. Okay, we start again here, Klaus. Okay, so here you see an example. This is a sandwich element with a trapezoidal sheet on the upper side and another on the at the bottom, which is not interesting for us. It could be it could also be that you have roofs where you have a simple trapezoidal sheet without insulation. So that's also possible. But the important thing is that we here have crests in a certain distance. That is the typical thing of a trapezoidal sheet or sandwich. I will go on only with trapezoidal. The system we can, for example, the first system we can install there is the same that you could install on a flat roof. It's a BasicRail at the bottom. There are peaks and SDs to create the inclination of the module. And the difference is that instead of the mat S, instead you lay it flat, nearly flat, on a foil or another roof. We use here the crests and use the basic clips that we have in the normal BasicRail system too to fasten the system. Yeah, so we have it in a certain distance. This distance will be calculated in base, which will Ronnie show you later. So, and then you have here this basic lock. This avoids that the rails can move towards one side. Yeah, because the rail is like swimming in the basic clip. It's like our normal BasicRail system. And the position and the number of the basic locks is also be calculated in base. So there we have then here the first type of inclination system on trapezoidal sheet, that is Dome 6.10. That means with 10 degrees inclination. You can create it as an S dome. That means S for single in one single direction. Or you can also plan it as a D dome, that is east-west system. That means the second inclination is in that direction, and it goes always like this. This is normally you do that if you have roofs where the inclination or the pitch is north or south directed, and then automatically the direction where the rail runs is the east-west direction, and there it's normally very good if you install an east-west, that means a D-dome system. But you can do both, as I told, once as a S-dome 6.10 or a D-dome 6.10. So the second possibility is this one. It's also on the crest. Let's see if it works. If it works here. It's okay. You see the same component like here, a peak, but the rail is different. So this is a BasicRail, and this is called MultiRail. Yeah, it's different because for that MultiRail, you see here there are some holes in there, and the method there is that we screw directly through that holes in the sheet in difference to the basic rails or the BasicRail, where we have as an additional component here this basic lip. We don't need that for the MultiRail system. Yeah, but the MultiRail system is also be fastened on the crest. We fasten always on the crest, on the top of the crest. This is because in the bottom of a crest it's not good because water runs there and it might be dangerous for the roof. So always we fasten on the top of a crest. And you see the differences. One's the rail. The second is that here we do not have a long running rail. That means a rail that runs from there maybe to the top of the roof or the crest or the end of the crest. We have always short rails. They are 25 centimeters long, and base then also calculates the distance where you have to put these small rails, and they have to be fastened always with 4 screws. One, this way is better, the better one. Here, 2 screws, and on the other hand, the other 2 screws. So you fasten always with 4 screws. And so we have at the, for example, we have here at the peak that we might have here, I don't have a sample, sorry. We might have here the same, a multi-rail with an SD, dome SD on it, and you bring the module there. So, and therefore it will be this, Ronnie will show it afterwards to you. It is, when you are planning such a roof, it's very important that you plan the, in a right way, the run of the pitch of the roof. This is very important because if you give a pitch in the wrong direction, you might choose the wrong system. But this Ronnie will show you later in the base planning. So this is the one thing. Wait a moment, I come back. Bleib ruhig da, dort. So a little less inclination we can create with our MiniRail Mini 5. That means it's in it's a MiniRail rail, which you can also use for parallel installations, and you bring on there inclination component, which is called Mini 5. And the way of installation there is that you always put the MiniRail, also the planning in base, from crest to crest. And base also will give you a hint whether the crest distance fits with the distance of the holes here. It does not fit with every crest distance, but with the most. And then you can install them, one MiniRail here, one MiniRail on the other side, and then put the module here with roundabout, depends a little bit on the measurements of the module, roundabout 5 degrees inclination. What is not good, and it's not possible to do this, because the trick is, mechanical wise, it would fit, but please be aware, if you want to have a 5 degrees inclination in that direction, that means parallel to the ridge, this is not possible because you can't, here you can, the MiniRail, you can move it on every position you want. But here, if you want to do that, you have only the possibility to move it on there. The next possibility is the next crest, and then again the next crest. So this never fits with module measurements. Okay, so don't do that. So, and then we have, for example, if you just want to lift up the modules, lift up means not to have them nearly directly above the surface of the trapezoidal, but you want to have a little more air between, that air can flow under the modules, because trapezoidal sheets get a little hot in summer. So there you have the possibility first here with the, this is a, it's called MultiRail 60 I think. Yeah, MultiRail high. Yeah, so it's 10 centimeters high. Thank you, Ronnie. So, and this one, it's the same way you install it with like this ones. You put it on the. This is a TSM, yeah. Okay. This is for corrugated roofs. This example. So I show you here. Maybe you see that there's a small wave. Maybe you see it like, wow. Here you can see it. This small wave we have. It's a little bit round. So this example is for corrugated metal sheets, but we have the same for with the flat bottom here, and this is then for trapezoidal sheets. And what we are missing here is still the EPDM sealing, which normally is there. Okay, the flat one is that one. And this EPDM sealing we will have, if you buy it, it's already also there. It's just an example, yes. So, but the system is the same. You install it later than here on the crest, and install with the module clamp the modules up there, and then in a landscape way, and so then the modules are lifted around 10 centimeters from the surface of the roof. This is the one for the high things, and the other possibility, it's a little bit less high. It's called rail up. This fits with a BasicRail, or either if you like with a MultiRail, or either with if you like with a MiniRail. So then you can use the normal rails and then higher up the system round about 7 centimeters if you like. This one you could also use in a special way if you like, to use it for dome systems, so that you mount it there. I put it here, and then you install the peaks and the SDs on top of this rail up. Yeah, so that you can also, maybe if you have a green roof and there's some growing green on there, that you can lift then the inclination a little bit away from the surface of, for example, a green roof. Yeah, but also if you like, instead of MultiRail high, you can also use BasicRail with the rail up component. So, and then last but not least, we have for MiniRail, the same as for MultiRail, we have also a MiniRail high. As you can see here, it's a little bit higher than the normal MiniRail. If you see it here, you can see the structure of it, and the installation then is the same, so that you also could install a Mini 5 inclination to get it away from the roof on a MiniRail high. Oh, it's also MiniRail high? Or it's MiniRail 60? I'm not sure about the name. Yeah, that you can, yeah.
The MiniRail 60, of course, is especially very practical if you use
Optimizers.
because you cannot
Yeah, mach ruhig,
install
wenn du.
you cannot install optimizers with the MiniRail, especially these new optimizers. They are very thick, very high, and you could not install it very well. In this case, it would fit. I don't know if you can see it, but you have hardly any space under the optimizer anymore. So in this case, the MiniRail 60 would absolutely make sense, because with the MiniRail 60 you have, of course, 60, no, not 60, but maybe 40 millimeters more roundabout, and you could even place the optimizer over the crest, although maybe this is not allowed from optimizer wise, because they need a specific distance. So it's always better to put it between the crests and not above the crest. But it would work.
Cool. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah, but when I look over the components I see here, then I think it's good we go to base now, because I think it would be good to describe the differences of a planning if you go the inclination in that direction or in the direction of a roof pitch. Yeah,
Have you shown all the different systems now?
I think yes.
Also the
So I
dome,
didn't talk about
the
the
dome.
different degrees of inclination. This is what you do in
But you
base.
described also the dome
Yeah,
systems on
yeah,
BasicRail and
yeah.
MultiRail. Okay, yeah.
So you go on with base and then
Yeah.
we fit us. Okay.
Okay, I have two questions here, and I will directly handle these questions while I do the planning. Um, so I have prepared a project already, and I have prepared in this project two roofs. One is this flat roof, and one is a pitched roof here. And this is very important. Let's start with the pitched roof down here. I've already defined the pitched roof as a trapezoidal roof. So let's directly go to the design page. This is not a webinar where we go through the base planning from the very beginning. If you need more information, if you are not confirmed very well or connected very well with K2 Base, you need just to press the button here on the right side, which is now in German, although I switched to English. I don't know why, but video tutorials you will understand, and here you will find for example, a video which is called PV planning simply explained in 5 steps. It's also in German here. Maybe I would have to reload the page, which I won't do now, but just use the red flag here on the right side. So I will just jump in the middle of the planning. I am on this design page now. I choose a module, just any module. And then I switch to the second page of the design page. And now we see the different systems here. We have, for example, the MiniRail and the Mini 5. We have the BasicRail, the MultiRail, and we won't focus on the other 3 down here. But now the question is, where is the MiniRail 60? We will come to that very soon. I will start with the BasicRail system now. Choose the portrait orientation, just put some modules on the roof, and then I switch to the results page. So we have our BasicRail system here now, and the first thing I want to show you is how to use the rail up. You find the rail up on the results page on the left side, the first of the 3 sub-pages, which is marked red here. At the very bottom, other, there you can choose different additional components, and one of them is the rail up. That's how simply you plan the rail up. It's the same thing for MiniRail and MultiRail. You also, you have the wrong mouse, sorry. Maybe this is yours, I don't know, because this here. But you are, yes. No, not anymore. Ah, it was an accident. Okay. So, yeah, so this is how to use the rail up. and then you see in the summary, you have rail up sets 84, and that's the sum of the mid clamp and the end clamp. 60 mid clamps, 24 end clamps makes 84. So that's how to calculate the number of rails. Under every clamp, you have one rail up. So let's go back to design and change from from BasicRail to MiniRail. This is the parallel MiniRail standard version. And then we go to results. And now we have the normal MiniRail. And to choose the MiniRail 60, we just switch here from components. At components, we choose the other rail, MiniRail 60. So you see two different ways to plan the different elevation types. The next one I want to show you is the Mini 5. And there you have, again, another procedure. You choose the mounting system here. You just go for Mini 5. And that's already it. When you go to results, you have the Mini 5. And you already see that the distance between the rows is bigger. Base automatically calculates the shadow distance between the rows. And what you always have to know, I will check something. Okay, we don't see the distance. Yeah, you see it. Row spacing 2 meters and 5 centimeters, more or less. So you could alter the row spacing. Let's just go for 3 meters, for example. Then you see the distance is much bigger. I will reset it now. And we have 2 meters 0.45 again. Okay. Now sometimes people want to have the MiniRail on a north roof. We see that the lowest point of the roof is in the south now, so the pitch is going down from here to here, from north to south. If you change the direction of the roof pitch, yeah, I click on this or this arrow 2 times, and then the direction of the roof pitch changes. Now I have a north elevation, but you still see the same row spacing. So what you cannot do in base is planning a south elevation with MiniRail on a north roof. So what base does here is to create a north elevation on the north roof. Of course, in reality, you could install it just the other way around. This is possible. But please then make sure to calculate a higher row spacing. So you must calculate which row spacing would be necessary by using another tool, or by, just do it by yourself. It's not included in any service of K2. So for example, now you calculated a row spacing of 2.8 meters, let's say, and then you could type it in here. But now I will go back to building and turn around the roof pitch again so that we have the original situation. I don't know why we have so little modules here. Seems to be a little bug. But now I have all the modules again I wanted to have. Yeah, so let's switch to MultiRail. You also see that MultiRail, we don't have the MultiRail high with 100 millimeters height. You cannot see it here. And this is the same as with the MiniRail 60, you go to results and then you choose the multi-rail high here. So that's it for the pitched roofs. Now let's go to the flat roof, because many customers, many base users, they call us and they ask, why can I not use the dome system in K2 base on trapezoidal roofs? The answer is you can use it, but most of these people, or all people who ask this, they have chosen um, a pitched roof, for example, a gable roof or a mono-pitch roof, yeah. But the thing is, you must choose a flat roof, and I have prepared this here. My first roof, this one is a flat roof. You can see that here. And when uh, I chose the roof covering trapezoidal here, yeah, instead of choosing gravel or bitumen or something, you must choose trapezoidal or corrugated metal. And when you do so, then you can go to design. Yeah, I have the module already chosen, so I can choose here between 4 different systems and just go with the mouse over the system without clicking, and then you will see the whole name of the system. So what we have here is DDOME 6.10 on BasicRail, SDOME 6.10 also on BasicRail, SDOME 6.15 also on BasicRail, and then SDOME 6.10 but on MultiRail. So what is the difference? Ute already showed it on our sample over there, and I will now show it again on this roof. So let's start with SDOME 6.10 MultiRail. I choose this system and I go on Add and draw my module array here. And then we see we have the direction of the roof pitch towards west. So what happens here is the modules can, with a S-dome system, you know the S-dome as a south elevation, but in this case, because of the direction of the crests of the roof pitch, the south direction becomes a west direction. We have the green line here. The green line is always marking the opposite side of our elevation, if you want. So here we have a western elevation. If we want to have a south elevation, we have simply to switch from S-dome on MultiRail to S-dome on BasicRail. There we can choose S-dome 15 on BasicRail or S-dome 10 degrees on BasicRail. Always the two options, clamping on the short side of the module or LS, clamping on the long side of the module. So let's just use the simplest one, SDOME 6.10 Classic on BasicRail, and then the modules will change. So now we have the south elevation. And if we use a DDOME now, DDOME 6.10 on BasicRail, then we have also not a east-west elevation, but a north-south elevation. And this is also because our crests are going in this direction. The crests are always going in the direction of the roof pitch. And here we have this arrow that marks that this is the lowest point of the roof. So it's different from D-dome and S-dome on, for example, bitumen or membrane roofs. The direction of the roof pitch in connection to the rail we use, the multi-rail or the mini-rail, the basic rail, multi-rail or basic rail. This always depends on the direction of the roof pitch and where the crests are running from. Yeah, Ute also mentioned that you can use the rail up in connection with the dome system. Um, I cannot show you how to plan this because this is only plannable in France. So those of you who plan projects in France can do this, but it's not. This system is not available for other locations than France. As far as I know, it's not possible to plan it in any other country. Um, yeah, there were two questions. The best for the crest spanning 20 centimeters. Ute already answered. So I don't know. I think the crest spanning is not really defining the system. You can use every system, but there is maybe one thing I can show on the pitched roof when you use the MiniRail system on a pitched roof and you have, for example, a crest distance of 200. Yeah, let's do 200. And then it might happen that the crest distance and the crest width do not correspond to the whole pattern of the MiniRail. Maybe we can show it again on the roof.
This is what I told before, because if we take a mini rail here, so you see that, one moment. Okay, you see that we have a certain crest distance. In the example, the customer asked us it would be 200 millimeters. Here we have 333, a classical sandwich distance. But you see here, if I go, for example, we would have here, how can we simulate another crest? I would take MultiRail instead. So if we might have a crest here, for example, and you put the MiniRail on there, then sieht man's? Yeah. Then you can see that now I have to move the MiniRail that something fits with this crest. Yeah, and you should drill the screw if it's possible in the middle of a crest. So this is important if a crest is not wider than 22 millimeters. This is a limit. So if you have, if the width of a crest is more, for example, if you have 30 millimeters, or like in that case 35 millimeters, you can also put the hole a little bit out of the center. The center is always the best. And now you can see that you have to check, oh, does it fit that hole with the position of that hole? And you see that there might be crests where it doesn't fit. Yeah, so here, if you see, I here try to come into the middle, then we might here be really on the edge of a crest and it would not work. So, and what Ronnie once more maybe special can show that basis calculating, therefore it's, if you do a MiniRail calculation, it's important that you give in also the width of a crest, because base can calculate what minimal width you need that you can use MiniRail for that combination, a special combination of, in that example or that question, of 200 millimeter crest distance. And then, for example, if you have only 22 millimeters crest width, then it would not work. But maybe you found out, Ronnie,
Not yet.
with which crest width, oh, it's difficult, it may work. Okay, I hope this is clear. So this is a little bit, there are some restrictions because of the hole distances on the MiniRail compared or corresponding with the crest distance and the crest width you have on your roof. Whereas multi-rail, if you want to use multi-rail, this is independent from the crest because it goes like there, and the next is there, and the next is there. So if you can install modules in a landscape way, you will nearly all times you will come that it will be that the position of the multi-rail will be in the clamping range of your used module. Yeah, so there are little restrictions with MiniRail. You go on, Ronnie?
Yeah, I think that when we can share the screen, yeah, we see that the two holes in the middle of the mini rail have a distance of only 200 millimeters, 210. So I would say 200 millimeters is,
It's the minimum.
yeah, is
Yeah,
the
yeah. We can do also smaller spans, but and then the base does a planning which goes so you have the first crest. There's the first fixation of the mineral, then one crest free, and on the next crest the other fixation of the mineral.
okay. Then
That's
it would be
also possible,
for
and
40.
base is considering that if we have smaller distance than
Yeah, yeah, but
210 millimeters.
then we would have to have a
But maybe
length of,
200 exactly can be very unhappy.
yeah, I think 200 doesn't work. Um,
Show it in the
I mean,
planning.
we,
There
we
yeah,
can
you
do a
should see
crest,
the
a very
rules.
large crest width of 50 millimeters,
Okay,
for
then
example. Then
yeah,
the
yeah.
message disappears.
So for
So
200
just
millimeters, it's
check.
better to use multi-rail and yeah.
Um, the height of the rail up. Somebody asked about the height of the rail up. Here we can see the rail up, and it's 64 millimeters high. And this little part of the item goes over the rail, so you have an additional elevation of 60 millimeters exactly. Then someone asks if we are able to calculate the economic analysis. So I suppose the participant talks about the now how you say that, the output, the electricity that is generated of a PV system. Where is my base? So we have, let's go to results. You can, on the last page, on the summary page, you can export the data to different design softwares. For example, PV-Sol, there you can do the economic calculation. I suppose you can also do it with Archelios Pro. I don't know about the two other solutions, but another option would be, when you go to the dashboard, you can open project from K2 Plus. K2 Plus is the connection between K2 and other software tools. So you can import data also from Helioscope and Eternity, and then plan the mounting system with K2 Base. And afterwards, when you do that, when you have imported a project from Eternity Expert or Helioscope, then you can also, on the last page of the planning, here, design software, you can re-export it back to Eternity and Helioscope. Yeah, the arrow in the base represents the crest direction if you have a trapezoidal roof, but in general, the arrow represents the roof pitch. Yeah, it's the lowest point. It's the direction where the water goes. Ah, sorry. yeah, the height of the MiniRail high, there is no MiniRail high. It's called the MiniRail 60, and so it's 60 millimeters high. The MultiRail high is 100 millimeters high. So you're welcome to ask more questions. But we have answered all the questions so far. If you need to know um, uh, length, height, whole distance of any item, something like that, please always go to the product catalog. You can reach the product catalog from the starting page of our website, k2-systems.com. Then on the top right side, you find the product catalog, or you go to My K2. My K2 is the starting page for all of our digital services. You have the digital services here. Yeah, we have 3 more. So all the digital services, for example, the product catalog, or you can also um, um, navigate from here, from the left side. Please make sure that you are always logged in. You can see on the top right side, here are my initials, or the initials of our demo user, Peter Demo. And if you are not logged in, you can't see several information. For example, now I am logged in and I can see prices. If I'm not logged in, I can't see prices. If I'm not logged in, I cannot download the technical data sheet. So please be sure to be logged in, and then you can see the technical data sheet. You can inform yourself about the height of any item or whatever. So there is another question in the chat.
Somebody is asking about inverted roof, if we could use the inclined systems there. And I'm already on the way to answer him that this is a normal flat roof system. He can use S-dome, D-dome, but it's not the issue of the day. It's a normal
Ja,
flat
ja.
roof.
Umkehrdach, ja.
Yeah.
How do you say? Inverted roof.
Yeah.
Okay, I understand.
Magst du schon sagen?
Yeah, so there is a question which does not have connection to the topic of today, but yeah, we can answer it quickly. The question is about inverted roof. So that means there is
Concrete
the
on the bottom.
roof construction, for example, concrete, and then there is, for example, XPS foam, and then on top of that, gravel. And the question is if you can use our systems. Yeah, you can, for example, use the dome system on this roof. Just put it onto the gravel with Mat S, or also use the gravel as ballast by adding our PE plates. Yeah, that's also possible in base, but I will not show it now because it's not the topic of today's webinar.
There was a question, Ronnie. Yeah, there was a question. It wasn't normal chat, but it doesn't matter in that case. If we have K2 system stores online, so maybe because we don't, maybe you show again in base the web shop application shortly.
Good
because
point.
this is
So when we are on the last page, the summary page, we have this button here, K2 Plus Wholesalers Webshop. So I can now place my order directly in the wholesalers web shops. So for example, all the items I need for this project, I can directly upload it in my wholesaler's web shop.
So there are more.
There are more. You
More.
can,
So your admin of your MyK2 admin can
yeah,
choose your favorite dealers.
the admin of your company, of your MyK2, can go to settings here and then say which web shops you as a user of your company, as a member of the company, can choose. And otherwise, you can go to the homepage, contact, and then distribution partners and locations, and there you will find all the distribution partners of K2 worldwide. Let's just choose one. Here. Okay. So I can't see any more questions so far in the Q&A panel. Yeah, if you want to ask something, um, yeah,
By microphone.
you can switch on your microphone, or yeah, you must raise your virtual hand. It's also a function in the Zoom software. You can click on the hand, and then we can unmute you or allow you to speak if you prefer that over writing in chat. Yeah, someone wants to ask something. Who is it? Jon. Jon wants to ask something.
Hi.
Ah, okay. It was
Okay.
not on purpose.
It was occasionally, accidentally.
Grace wants to ask something. Grace, please, you can speak now. Grace, we cannot hear you so far. Yeah, Zaki wants to ask something.
Ah.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, exactly. The green line has nothing to do with the direction with north or south. So the green line is the line where the mounting system gets its orientation from. And if you have a D-dome, which is known as an east-west elevation, I mean, you can say that the green line is the northern line, but the individual project north, let's say. So it's not the real north, it's the north of the project. But so it's always, when you have a S dome, it's always on the opposite side of the S dome, because the modules face normally south, but when you have a S dome, it and the S dome faces not south, but it faces to the west, then the green line is in the north, in the east. I'm sorry. And here you can see that the green line is in the opposite side of the arrow, because we have a D dome, and the green line is always
Parallel to the basic rail
yeah,
at the
okay, that's
bottom.
a simple
Yeah.
explanation. Yeah,
So the
exactly.
green line for the trapezoidal sheets is very much more fixed depending on the system, depending on the rail you have on the bottom. So that means for D-Dome it will always be parallel to the basic rail you want to install, because the basic rail runs from crest to crest to crest. Yeah, and therefore if you could do it, change the green line, please, to the northern side of the roof. Then we will see what happens.
Mm, I'm not sure if this works because
Yeah,
no, it doesn't work.
exactly, and it doesn't work because D-Dome with the green line at the north side of this roof is not possible, because then it's not possible with basic rail above at the bottom.
If you want to get the green line from here to there, then you have to switch the roof pitch direction, which would mean now the crests. We can go to results. We see the crests go from here to there. When I go to building and I switch the direction of the roof pitch, then we go to results again. Then we see the crests now go in the other direction, and the green line also is going to another edge of the roof. And of course, when you switch from S-Dome on MultiRail,
Yeah,
then the green line, yeah, okay, now, but yeah, S-Dome on MultiRail, the green line stays here. S-Dome on BasicRail, it
yeah.
goes in the other direction again.
That
Because
means for our basic rail systems, the green line runs the same way, opposite 90 degrees turned to the direction of the crest. Yeah, and for all multi-rail systems, the green line is positioned in the direction of the inclination, in the direction of the white arrow you see here. Yeah, and also the crests run in this way. This is because multi-rail is installed on the crest, parallel to the crest, and basic rail runs 90 degrees turned around to the crest.
so actually it's not really complicated.
No, because it's automatically, if you choose a system, the green line will be positioned automatically. Yeah, so the best would be you delete this module field, then you choose your system again, and then it's all good.
I would say don't focus on the green line at
Yeah,
all. Just focus on the crests.
yeah, yeah. The run of the crest
Because
is the most important.
if you focus on the green line, maybe you do something wrong in the end. Because the possibility to choose a mounting system always depends on the crests and where you
Direction.
want to elevate, of course.
Yeah.
So be sure that this arrow goes in the right direction. Now it's obviously wrong. When we have a look at the roof, I will hide the no. Yeah, okay, it's not possible. If we look at the roof, we see that the here we have a how is this called in English? The
What?
window. Let's just call it window. I'm sorry. So here we have the roof inclination, obviously once in this direction and once in this direction, always going down from this from the ridge of the roof, which we see here. And now the roof inclination obviously is going into the wrong direction. It's not going from here to here, but I should.
So in summary, we can say that the green line is normally automatically positioned by base, and this is and it's not so easy to move it, because it is really depending on the direction of the crests and together with the system you choose. So you have not the same possibilities in comparison to a flat roof, simply because here we have crests.
Yeah.
Okay, Ronnie.
Yeah. There is a last question or another question. Do you have K2 Systems store
Now
online? No, we don't have an online store.
you showed it, the web shops already.
I think this was another question.
Ah, okay.
I'm not sure. Um, we don't have a K2 system online store, but we have the connection to our wholesalers who might have online shops or the possibilities to order online.
So
Yeah.
the way
So
is not from K2 over online shop and then go to our stores. The way is make a planning in Bay and then you in base and then you can directly see what our partners have on their stock. Okay,
okay.
I think that's it.
Thank you very much for
Yeah,
taking part today. Thank you very much, Ute. Um,
you're welcome, and you are also very welcome. So maybe we see us again the next time. And please, if you have questions, call our technical hotline or write us at our technical mailbox. Or so we stay in contact. Have a good time. Thank you.
have a good
Goodbye.
time. Goodbye.